With the next semester in college being imminent, I don't really have a lot more time to enjoy my summer vacation. Hello folks, and welcome back to another video. Today's date is August 21st, 2024, and I am located at the Iron Triangle Railpark in Fostoria, Ohio. Despite being my second time over here this year, I was here today to enjoy an entire day of trains before the next semester in college would start back up. While unfortunately missing the L&N Heritage Unit on my way up here, I was greeted by an eastbound on the CSX Willard subdivision shortly after I pulled into the park. That being CSX X368, which is an extra run of mixed freight train M368, which runs between Chicago, Illinois and Selkirk, New York, pulled today by a pair of Norfolk Southern locomotives. Less than 5 minutes after the X368, we would then get a Norfolk Southern train on home rails when an eastbound approached on the Fostoria district, which was NS Intermodal Train 258, which runs on a daily basis between Kansas City, Missouri and Rutherford, Pennsylvania. The Willard subdivision will light up once again a little while later with a westbound utilizing the Northeast Y to turn north onto the Pemberville sub, that being CSX M267, a daily mixed and autorag train that operates between Selkirk, New York and Walbridge, Ohio. Shortly after M267 passed me, I would catch a glimpse of CSX local freight L340, which came north out of Cary, Ohio, utilizing the Southeast Y to turn east onto the Willard sub towards Willard, Ohio. Unfortunately, being covered by the trees, there really isn't much we can see here. The Willard subdivision proved to be the busiest of the three lines through town here in the morning as another eastbound slowly approaches, that being CSX I-150, a daily North Baltimore, Ohio to Detroit, Michigan intermodal train, preparing to utilize the Northwest Y to turn north from the Willard subdivision to the Pemberville subdivision. before the passage of I-150, a westbound would approach on the Norfolk Southern Fostoria District, however wasn't allowed to clear the diamonds before the passage of I-150. When it was finally turned loose, the identity was revealed to be an Autorack train, specifically NS-11E, which operates between Crewe, Virginia and Elkhart, Indiana. After Norfolk Southern 11E made its way out of town, the control of the interlocking was given back to CSX as another westbound approaches on the Willard subdivision. I unfortunately didn't get the symbol of this train, but judging by the steel cars in the next scene, I have reason to believe that this is M561, a daily Selkirk, New York to Cincinnati, Ohio mixed freight train. A little while later, a southbound would appear on the Pemberville subdivision. Preparing to take the Northwest Y onto the Willard subdivision was CSX mixed freight M567, which runs on a daily basis between Walbridge, Ohio and Gibson, Indiana. Having to run up to the Willard subdivision this time around, I would catch an eastbound loaded ethanol train, that being CSX B773, which runs on an as-needed basis off the Canadian National in Chicago, Illinois, for Baltimore, Maryland. For a train that usually has CN power on it was not the case this time, as a pair of CSX locomotives were assigned to take it. However, the YN2 AC4400 in charge of this train was still pretty cool. With the B773 slowing down in the previous scene, it would almost end up being a running meet between them and this westbound empty ethanol train on the Willard subdivision. Seeing a discussion between a couple moderators on the virtual railfan camera located here before this train's passage, the identity was confirmed to be CSX B766, an as-needed empty run of ethanol tanks from Albany, New York, back to the BNSF interchange in Cicero, Illinois, being pulled today by a trio of BNSF Pumpkin GEs. As I was walking back to the pavilion on the other side of the park, I made my way back over to the Willard subdivision when another eastbound approached, that being CSX I-168, a daily Chicago, Illinois to Port Newark, New Jersey intermodal and auto-rack train, with a SD70 Mac rebuild trailing second today. Now, what would happen next with this train would be pretty strange, as I tapped my cell phone screen to hit record on the camera app, but when I walked back to my phone perched up on my tripod after the locomotives went by, I noticed that my cell phone wasn't actually recording, which is a bit unfortunate. However, I was able to get pictures of this train with a recently acquired DSLR camera. Anyways, this train is Norfolk Southern Local Freight L70 as it departed Blair Yard here in Fostoria, Ohio to work industries between here and Edgerton, Indiana. Powered today by a duo which include a Norfolk Southern SD60E and an SD40E, which made it a nice catch despite not being recorded. Surprise, surprise! Once again, another eastbound would light up the CSX Willard subdivision, this time being another mixed freight train, CSX M560, on a daily run between Cincinnati, Ohio and Selkirk, New York. As I was preparing to leave, I crossed the Willard subdivision to notice a restricting signal for a westbound and an approach medium for an eastbound train that was going to use the Southwest Y. The westbound would be first to show up. I didn't get the symbol for it at the time, but I would find out after the fact that this is CSX I-135, a daily Portsmouth, Virginia to Chicago, Illinois intermodal train containing mostly bare tables and led by an EMD SD70 mech, with a horn-happy engineer at the throttle. As I-135 slowly made his way across the railroad crossing at Poplar Street, the eastbound was also quick to show up, preparing to take the Southwest Y to turn south towards Columbus. I didn't get the symbol of this train either, but I have reason to believe it's G775, an as-needed empty grain train that comes out of Garrett, Indiana for Rocky Mount, North Carolina, with a flared SD70 mech in the lead, specifically number 4711. Now, the reason why we are only going to see the locomotives of this train is because I wanted to follow it south and catch it at the Route 23 crossing in Cary. Unfortunately, that would not happen, and when I got to Cary, I would instead catch CSX local freight L456 as he's making his way northbound up the Columbus subdivision between Columbus, Ohio and Walbridge, Ohio, shuttling merchandise freight. After waiting about 10 more minutes after L456 made his way north past Cary, I realized that my plan of following the grain train would not work out, and I would have to make my way home, which is where we now conclude yet another video. Despite not catching the grain train for a second time and missing the L&N Heritage Unit earlier in the morning, I still had a fun time and was able to see a decent variety of trains. With my next semester in college being 100% online, I don't know how much time it's going to allow me to make videos, catch trains, hang out with my friends, etc., etc. So if you see video activity on this channel slow down, it's just because I'm busy with college work. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, consider checking out some other ones of mine. Leave a like or a comment down below to share your thoughts, subscribe if you're new, and tap the notifications bell if you want to be notified when a new video gets posted here on the channel. Till next time, this is All Ohio Rail Fan, signing out for the summer. See you soon!